Hey, classic move. I was muted when I came on. And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome to the ROUS Miniatures Design Studio. This is our second show here. And we're just going to continue the work that we stopped last time. I think we're gonna finish that helmet today. And then I have a bit of an idea on what I want to do next. So hopefully we'll get to that pretty quick. Let's see. Banner, we can hide that. We won't need that until next time. Alright, so one thing, if you're a fan of what I'm doing, and you'd like to see me keep doing it, hit that little button to subscribe and follow me, because that really gives me a little boost to convince me that what I'm doing is fun and people like to see it. So, let's see, what did we do? We made this helmet.
This is what your
implant.
CRM platform should look like. HubSpot is powerful.
What the heck is that
easy
sound?
to buy.
Oh, thank you. There we go. Got our music back. Sorry about that. So, let's see. Last time we made this helmet implant, and I think that's looking really good. I'm actually not sure that there's much I want to add to it. Maybe on the back. The back, there's probably some work that needs to get done. It looks a little plain. But I think this is, yeah, I'm a fan of it. So let's get the back rolling. If there's any problem with my noise, or the music's too soft or too loud, or I'm too soft or too loud, just let me know in the chat and I can fix that. Alright, so we'll pop into edit, and instantly I got these normals showing up. I hate that. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. So my biggest problem with this right now is that this is all just a little plain. Also, she doesn't have hair right now, so it looks like she's bald. It's okay. But actually, I might want to... Let's see if I can grab maybe these faces on top here. I don't want these ones. Just want those top ones. Not that one either. I wonder if I can bring that up. What does that look like? And I can rotate it here, bring it in, rotate it again, maybe scale a little bit. I don't know what to do. You know, I'm not sure that I like that. Let's give it a little more definition here. And we'll bring this down. And you know, if anybody has suggestions on what they want to see me do, or anything you want me to add, throw it in the chat, and I'll see what I can do. I won't take everybody's suggestions, but who knows? Something you think that might make it into the final product here. Let's just try to... I don't like how angular that is. I think it needs to round it out a bit. So, what's the best way to do that? Let me grab... I don't know if I know a good way to do that. A lot of it is just poking and prodding and seeing what to do, what works for you. You know, I'm not an expert at this. I've been self-teaching myself here for about a year and a half. I don't know all the tricks for sure. I just like to do it. Maybe I could just... Maybe that's a fool's errand. Maybe this whole bit here is not in the cards. No, I can do it. Let's just gotta be a bit more methodical about this. Yeah, just grab all those and let's bring it like that. Rotate it a little. Maybe scale it, and then rotate it. Yeah, okay, that's a little better, I think. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I can live with that. Let's give it little nubs here. Yeah, okay. I don't know if that'll show up in the final model because it's pretty small. But, yeah, that's okay. I like to add it. Okay, so I think, and then maybe we'll put a little something on this side. We'll grab all of these and just extrude it out a tiny bit. Extrude it out again, and one more time, and we got that. Let's tighten it up. Tighten it up over here, just like that, and on this side too. It's a nice little trick, but one thing that does that you don't sometimes think about is that you do end up with all these tiny faces and all these extra lines that can make it a little difficult to work as you go. So, it's probably best practice to do all that at the end, but oh well. I made a mistake, but it's looking okay. Alright. Yeah. I think that's looking pretty good. I think we might be done with this. Oh! Whoa, no we're not. What's that little nub? I don't want that. Oh, how did I do that? Oh dear. Okay. Well, we gotta fix that, 'cause I don't know what's going on with that. Let's grab all these. And these. And I think we're just gonna delete that. Yeah. Alright, so now you see what we've also done is we've ripped a big old hole in our object, but that's okay, because we can grab all these edges, hit the F key, and closed. No problem. Let's tighten up this bottom piece here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, that's looking better. It's always good to give it one big glance in all directions to make sure there's no geometry folding in on itself that'll cause problems. And, another thing you sometimes want to do, but we'll do that in just a second. So now you notice that these are actually all different objects. They're not one object right now. There's a couple different ways we can make that into one object, but the easiest is just to grab all these. Grab this one, make sure that that's your active object. Control J, and it's alright. Another learning moment. This is something I always end up doing. So we gotta undo that, because before you join something, you have to deal with the modifiers. Here are the modifiers. So let's see, what do I want to do? You know what? I'm not going to join them together yet. I actually think that step is not really necessary right now. It might be later, but I don't want to do it yet. It's okay where it is. Once we get to the posing of the model, maybe I'll do that. But right now I think we're okay. So let's call that good. I'm a big fan of what I've done here, and let's move on. Alright, so this next part I'm going to dedicate to my Uncle Jan and my dubious criminal past. We're going to make a grenade. Let's make a grenade for the belt. Let's start with a sphere. That's easy. And hang on. Excuse me, miss. Sphere. Okay, so what do we want this grenade to look like? I'm thinking it's kind of a futuristic grenade, right? So we're not going to go with like the pineapple with the pin. We're going to go with a bit more of a tech look to it. So I'm going to start by, and I'm not going to bother making it symmetrical. Not this time. Let's grab all those. Let's scale that into Z, I think. Scale Z0. Let's bring it down here. Get a nice sort of flat top going on. There is a way to scale it so it just moves the top ones to the bottom, but I don't remember how to do that, so that's okay. It doesn't have to be a perfect sphere. So, okay, so we got that. And let's give it, I don't know, excuse me. I'm going to set my view to the top, thank you. Okay, let's give it a little sort of like, I'm thinking like prongs at the top for, I don't know, maybe they attach. You throw it and it attaches to something, and it needs these prongs to do that. And then maybe, scale it. I'd like to scale them in, but I don't know how to do that. Maybe if I 3D cursor. Don't scale in the Z. Oh yeah, there we go. I like that. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's have some sort of activation device on this other side too. Or maybe it's in the center. Yeah, actually, let's back up a bit. I had an idea. Gotta hit that undo button that my program Blender really doesn't like, but no, that's okay. And as usual, when my program starts to not respond, that reminds me that I haven't made a save in a bit, so we will pop a quick save. Don't want to lose our work. Not that I've gotten a lot done so far today. Okay, now we're in business. So I'm going to do that same thing. Grab these, but I think I'm also going to grab the center too. We're going to bring that all up and scale it in. And then I'm going to bring this whole bit up again. Then grab them again. Extrude a tiny bit in scale. Go down. And then we'll bring this back up. There. Perfect. And just to keep everything level. Oops. Come here. Come here. And keep that level. Okay. Yeah, now it's got a little button on the top to activate it. I like that. That's looking good. Now, I don't want it to just be a sphere on the bottom here. So what else can we do? Maybe I do want to give it that pineapple look. I could grab maybe like a pseudo pineapple grenade. Just sort of grab these. Oh, that is not. Hang on. Better idea. Let's get the see-through version, the wireframe, so that we also select the faces on the other side. Work smart, not hard. Or both. Okay, now we got that going. Let's extrude, and then scale. Does that work? No, that gives us crazy. That doesn't. Maybe we can't do this all sides of one. Oh, yes I can. Yes I can, because I know the trick on how to do this. One of the hard things I've had with Blender is that all the actions, whenever you move something, any movement in life is in relation to other things, you know? We move in relation to the Earth, even though the Earth is moving in relation to the Sun. Crazy. When I scale this, I'm going to scale it from this red dot thing. We call that the 3D cursor. So you see if I extrude, does it go? No, I can't do that. If I extrude and I scale, there we go. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah. A little smaller. Oh, maybe that's okay. Yeah. I kind of like that. And then maybe let's give it a band around the middle. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. If we bring our elf lady back. Quick save. Let's see how big this is in relation to her. So if she palmed it, yeah, that's probably about right. That looks like it fits in her hand. So that's the 3D cursor. So yeah, that fits about in the palm of her hand. That seems about right. So let's go put it on her belt here, and we'll put it on the left side. Rotate it in a bit. Rotate it there to match. Okay. Now there isn't going to be any strap holding it on, but that's not something that'll show up on the 3D print anyways, so that's something you can forget about. Those tiny details are fun to model, but sometimes they just don't show up when you print it. That's too bad, but it means you don't have to model them if you don't want to. So that looks good. Yeah. Now she's got a grenade, she's got a fancy looking helmet, and if I remember correctly, I think I have, oh yeah, there's a holster, and a pistol. These I modeled a long time ago. She's ready to go. She's looking pretty outfit here. Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna do something a bit more fun here. We're going to start posing this model. I think she's cybered up enough. I think she has enough gear. Even got a cyber arm for her. So I'm gonna start doing the posing. And this isn't the first time I've done this, because let's see if I can. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a new collection. We're going to select all this. Oh, actually, hang on. Before we do that, let's rename this. Call that grenade. And we'll join these together into one object. There we go. And the helmet, we're going to apply these modifiers because I think we're done changing the helmet. Let's do a save before I apply the modifiers, though. Let's apply that, and apply that, and now we can join these into one object, and just do a little cleanup on it. Make sure there's no points overlaying each other, or loose objects, which there shouldn't be. Okay. And now, if I... see, this one's going to have the cyber arm. If I pop open the hair, which looks kind of dopey because it's not molded under the helmet yet, but that's okay. And we'll bring in the skeleton. Okay. So this, actually before, yeah, so this is going to form the basis of all the movements of this model. So if I go into pose mode here and I grab the bone, I've done a lot of work to make sure each part of her body is assigned to a bone, and then I give that model weight, so that when I rotate this bone, the arm will rotate with it, just like that. I haven't done that for this arm piece yet, but we'll get there. So that makes posing this very easy. Do T pose, Y pose, do the YMCA. So let's grab everything here, except for the pistol, because I have a special plan for that. Let's grab all of these pieces. Let's move them to a collection. We're going to make a new collection. We're going to call it L4. You know, I already did something wrong, because I just moved these from my base ELF file to L4. And I didn't want to do that, so we're actually gonna move them back into ELF base, because that's what all of our poses are going to be based off of. So we can't steal those objects. We have to duplicate them. So I'm going to duplicate every single object here. It might take a sec because there's a lot of calculation going on. Okay, and they're duplicated. And then I'll move all the duplicates to L4. We'll hide our face. And there we go. Brand new set of objects to work with, but identical in every way to the old ones. So we're almost ready to start posing here. But if we rotate this, there's a few pieces of her that aren't attached yet. Oops. So we gotta attach those pieces to the skeleton. So let's, this is always a part that I struggle with, because there's a very specific way to attach bones to objects. So I think you select the skeleton, you go into edit mode, I'm pretty sure you grab this, and you grab that, Shift, Control P. No, that's not right, because I think I need an armature in here. What is the name of this object? Skeleton is female elf skeleton 05. So let's do that. And let me quick check. As vertex groups. So that looks right. It's not ready to go yet because I need to assign the specific bone to the object. Okay. Let's see if that did it. This is always a bit of a guessing game for me on how to do this. Even though I've done it a lot, I always think that, is that the right way? I don't think it is. Oh, loop and parents. I didn't want that. Oh boy. Let's see. Okay. Armature deform. Set parent to object. And nope. Oh, isn't this just the frustrating part? You just try stuff, and hopefully eventually you figure it out. Maybe we'll go to weight paint here. Let's grab that and that. Go into weight paint. And then if I shift click, control click, shift click. going to paint it. So let's pull up the tool menu. We have the weight set to 1. Yeah, there we go. So what this is doing is it's saying this is how stuck, this is how heavy that piece is. And then we're going to stick it to that bone, and since it's so heavy, as long as that bone moves somewhere, it should stick to that bone. Of course, you have to know how to parent it to that bone. And that's what I always guess at. Oh, there we go. Oh. Yes. Oh. Look at that. We're rocking now. Okay. That's a little funny. That's a little funny. That may need some work. But actually, another bit that I wanted to change is her wrist is a little too wide. Her arm with the sleeve was bigger than this mechanical arm. So we're gonna edit this wrist quick. Because I want to bring it in a little bit. Just so it's not such a wide gap there. Let's just do come here. Maybe I can grab these. GY. No, not that either. There's a way to do this. Let's grab those 2. Yeah, I think that's the way. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's also grab these 2 and bring those in a bit too. Bring a GY and rotate it a bit to smooth it out. There we go. Okay, then let's do this side too. We'll bring it in. Oh, that went perfectly. Why couldn't the first one have done that? That's okay. Done now. Okay, so that wrist is looking a lot better. Alright. Now, I noticed that the wrist, when I rotated this bone, well, something weird's going on there. That doesn't look quite right. But I think for the pose I have in mind, that's not going to be an issue. Not with this one. It might be on this side, but the nice thing about pose mode is that you can go through as you pose the model and you can change things. You can change how heavy or light or how attached to the bone it is. So I can actually save that to see if it matters later. So now that arm is attached, let's move to the next piece that was detached from the skeleton. So what do we got? We'll do this holster, the holster on the left here. Alright, so that's going to be, that'll be attached to this bone, I think. And I think in its entirety. So and you know what? I already forgot the order in which to do this. So weight paint, I think, and we'll grab this bone. Can I do that? No, I can't. I could definitely paint it the right color, so it's nice and heavy. Let's make sure I got the inside here. Looks like I did. Good. Alright, pop back out. And we'll go. Oh, excuse me. Grab that bone. Pop out. And we're going to set this to parent bed. Now let's see if I did that in the right order. I give it a 50-50. Nope. Not quite right. What am I to do here? Go select this. Select that. Go into weight paint. Now I need to select that bone, I think. It's the control. What's going on? That's not right. maybe it's the other way around. Maybe I select this, select that. No, nope, that's definitely not right. This. Nope, losing pairs. This is crazy, because I literally just did this, and now I'm struggling. But, you know, struggle with these things. Over time, as you struggle, you just hope you get better at it. So let's just keep trying. I'll get it eventually here. I'm going to weight paint. It's already painted up. Now, normally I thought I could select specific bones, but it doesn't seem to want me to do that. Interesting. Let's go back to this one. Let's go back to this one and see if I can select. See, now here, you can see that I can select these bones. Interesting. What I did was I selected this. I select the object. Select the skeleton, select the object, go into weight paint, and then I can select the bones. Interesting. That seems right. Select the skeleton, select the object, go into weight paint, but I can't select the bones, I don't think. Nope, can't select the bones. Maybe I have a modifier. Oh, I have a modifier. Am I not allowed to have a modifier? Let's try applying that modifier. You just gotta keep trying things. No, that wasn't it, huh? Okay. Well, let's put that modifier back then. If I can. Here, let's open our last save. I saved just before that, didn't I? So this is interesting because we've actually moved out of what I've been doing before. What I was doing before was called block modeling, where you just take geometric shapes, you fashion them, you move points around to get an object. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually doing more of an organic modeling, and I'm blending the two together here. But the organic modeling is pretty difficult because instead of just making a shape, you have to think about how shapes move. You think about what joints do. How does the fabric, bunch up when you flex or something? How does this holster move when her hip moves? It's just a whole other layer of stuff, a whole nother layer of things to get messed up, a whole nother set of tools to get frustrated with. Let's try it over here. Let's try this grenade. We'll attach it. And unfortunately, we're going to do the exact same thing here. Let's see if we can't get a different result. Like a crazy person. Okay, so select this. Go into edit mode. Select this bone. Hit parent. Doesn't move yet. Select this. Select that. Go into weight paint. And paint it nice and heavy. So one thing that's nice is that I can just choose to paint all this heavy because it's inflexible. But if I go into something that's supposed to be flexible, like her torso and her elbows especially, and I go into weight paint, you see that, come on, you see that her elbow is actually very heavy. The rest of her arm is very light. It's just because that's flexible, so you need to be a little more specific with that. That also holds true for something like her waist and her legs. Something like that. Okay. Let's grab that. Parent to that. Just like this. Go into weight paint mode. And still select. I'm not sure what's wrong with that. Let's see, what haven't I tried? It worked so well with this piece, and now I'm struggling with these two. Let's try with the face mask. Maybe I'm doing something wrong that I haven't figured out yet. So let's select this bone. Let's grab the mask. Oh, you know what? This is still named Cube 001. Let's rename that. We'll rename it to Cyber Mask. Ominous. Let's hide her hair as well. Okay, let's parent. Let's go to weight paint. And select bone. Come on, work with me here. Interesting. Select this. Select that. Go into weight paint. And I can select bones. Fascinating. Select this. Select that. Go to weight paint mode. And I can't select bones. Oh no. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, I know exactly what I've done wrong. It's the very first step when you do the armature. You have to add the armature modifier to the object. Oh. Ouch. Yep. There we go. That's where I went wrong. Oh man. Okay. So now I bet. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, well, that was frustrating, but, you know, we got it. We figured it out. And we're better for it. And it moves. Perfect. Look at that. Okay. Look at that. Now we're talking. Okay, yes. Whew, had me sweating there. Oh, okay. Add the armature modifier, and then do all the weight paint stuff. Yep. No matter how many times you do something, sometimes you just don't know what the heck's going on. Well, now that we figured that out, this should go pretty quick and we can get to actually posing the model. That's the fun part. Yep, that's looking good. And we need to do the mask. So let's pop into object mode. Add the modifier. A parent to the object. Go to weight paint mode. And now she has a whole bunch of skeleton in her face. I mean, there's stuff for the eyes, the ears. The ears are actually my favorite. Let me show you. Just because I just get a kick out of this. Oh yeah, we can move her ear. How unnecessarily fun. Yeah, just little wiggly ears. Alright, now we gotta weight paint this. Got distracted by the wiggly ears. Alright, so we're gonna attach it to just this big bone, because that controls her entire head. And it's bolted to her head, so it needs to move exactly with it. And again, this is an inflexible object, so we can just paint the whole dang thing red. That should be fine. That's what we were looking for. Then, yep, look at that. That's looking good. Okay, so was there anything else that wasn't attached to her? Okay. Look at that. What's that doing? It's a little line. So that means that we missed a spot. We missed a spot, and it looks like it's attached to that little bolt. So we gotta go back in and fix that. So we'll pop back into wait mode. Now, where the heck? Look at that. That's what we missed. Yeah. Paint that in quick. Alright. Now we're good to go. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. So now we got the whole thing moving. That is except for her hair. But I actually do the hair last on these models because it's so particular. So we're not going to do the hair anyways. Alright, so now that I think we're good to go. We get to do the fun part. This part's so much fun. We're going to do the posing. We're going to actually give her an action pose here. So I actually have a reference image here for the pose that I want. So I'm going to bring that up. Fortunately, I don't think I can show you guys. But I know. You'll see in a second. Okay, and I've done this pose before, but with a different model. I just love it so much, so we're going to do it. So it looks like she's leaning forward. She's got her gun in one hand, it looks like, and she's reloading it. So let's grab her, and we're going to pop a save. Because before you do anything important, you make a save. Okay, so we're going to grab her hip. This is the bone that moves everything. Everything is attached to this one sort of spinal column. So we're going to take that, going to rotate her forward a bit. We're going to hide that hair, because that's going to bug me. I'll back into pose mode. And we'll rotate her forward a bit. She's sort of leaning forward. Then, I'm going to take this leg, and it needs to come out a bit this way, and I think a little, pretty far forward, to about here. And then bring this back, let's shoot to the front here, we're going to rotate it. Oh, come on, this way a bit. This is always a little finicky because it's very obvious when someone's bones are doing something they're not supposed to do. So you really have to get this part right. Otherwise, your model's just gonna look weird. You know, humans are really good at telling when something isn't right. So you gotta make sure that what you're having your model do makes sense from an anatomy perspective. That's one of the hardest parts about getting a pose, because you also want it to be dynamic. You don't want them just lounging in a chair. Not for these models, at least. Okay, so that's looking pretty flat. It doesn't have to be perfect for this. And I think that looks fairly natural. If you cover up this leg, I think that looks right. Okay, so let's do the other leg now. So that other leg it's sort of off this way. It is pointed back. ankle. This ankle's going to have to compensate because this foot is also flat on the ground. Now that's going to look dopey, but if I rotate it out this way, and rotate it up a bit, I think, okay, that's looking pretty good. Let me hide the skeleton so that I can get a good look at her. Oh yeah, that's an action pose. We don't have the arms yet, but we're getting there. So another thing we gotta do is we gotta make sure her feet are roughly at the same level. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we definitely want these a bit closer. So what we're gonna do, I think I'm gonna bring this leg up a bit more. Bring it up a bit more. And bring her foot back a bit more. Bring it up a bit more. And bring the foot back a bit more. That'll be good. Maybe a bit more. Just a bit more. Okay. There we go. Nice and level there. Let's hide the skeleton and make sure everything looks okay. Okay. So I think this foot needs to point out more. Yeah, that's what needs to point out more. Actually, you know what? Not the foot. Because I don't think the ankle wants to bend anymore. I think the knee. I could be wrong about that, but I think the knee needs to bend a bit more out that way. So let's rotate it that way a bit. Not too much, because the knees don't really like to bend that way. Isn't that right, Sanderson clan? Knees are tricky. And we gotta fix this again, because of course, that messed it up a little bit. But I shouldn't mess with. We can also bring her toes up a little bit. And that's not actually attached to anything, oopsies. Okay, let's hide that skeleton again. Hey, Lon, you do these on a 3D printer, correct? Yeah, so all of these models I do, I 3D print later. Well, the characters actually move in all the directions. So when I print them, they're static. They don't move at all. I set them in this action pose, and then you print the model, and then you paint it up. They don't move at all once they're printed. In fact, I can kind of show you. This is a test model that I did here. We'll see if it shows up. About there. That's what they look like when they're done. Something along that lines. This is a quick and dirty test pose I did, and you can kind of see it. Yeah. So let's see here. So I got this pose looking pretty good. Now, there is a little weird thing going on here. That doesn't seem right. But the nice thing about this is that once you set the pose, you can go back in sculpt mode, where everything sort of turns into clay, and you can move things around. So little details like that get messed up, especially around the joints. This always happens around the joints. That's okay. You can fix that later. Right now, what we're looking for is we're just looking for the anatomy to make sense, get a fun pose, and then we can fix all the oddities later. Okay, so let's see here. What do we got to do now? Her arms, that's not what her arms are supposed to be doing. So her arms, she's got one arm up. She's holding her pistol up in the air. Let's pull that skeleton back. We'll see if we can't get the pistol more or less in place by the end of this episode here. So first off, we gotta bring it out a bit. Maybe a bit more. We've got to rotate it this way. And we got to bring this elbow in. Like that. Then we got to bring this out. Because she's holding it more or less straight up in the air. And things might end up looking a little weird around the joints, but you can fix that later. It's important now to get everything, all the limbs where they're supposed to be. That's the important bit now. We can also rotate this out like that. And now I'm actually going to grab this pistol here. So I've got a few pistols to choose from. I got this one here. Got that one there. I'll pick an option real quick. And that's the normal pistol ready to fire. I've got a magazine to load the pistol, and then I have a pistol without the magazine in it. That's actually in the reload form. And that's the pistol that I want. So I'm going to grab these two. I'm going to make duplicates. And I'm going to move them to the L4 collection, so that they're in the same folder as this. Then, I'm going to take this magazine here, and I'm going to make it look like it's falling out of this pistol, because she's just released it, and she's looking to reload. So this is going to be falling out of the pistol. This is mid-reload. Let's grab that pistol and the clip, and we'll bring it on over to her hand. Let's see. Actually, that's almost perfect. Wow, that was way better than I thought it would be. Okay. Let's rotate it around here a bit. Gonna need to move that magazine again, but that's okay. Rotate the pistol around like this, and maybe like that. No, so it needs to be pointed out a bit this way, and then like that. I think like that, but maybe a bit down. So we're going to have to move her arm to compensate. That should be pretty easy. Let's do that. Let's also get this magazine lined up again, because it has since gone askew. And this especially doesn't have to be perfect, because remember, it's falling right now. It's just going wherever. We'll just pop it in there. And that looks pretty good. Alright, so now we got the pistol more or less where we want to go. Let's get this arm lined up again, because we've lost the pistol a bit. Actually, I say that we're going to align the arm, but I think actually it makes more sense to move this arm out and then bring the pistol in. Yeah, I think that's the better option here. Of course, that does mean that I've messed up the magazine again, probably. But not so bad. Just gotta fix it a little bit. Not a big deal. Alright, let's get those fingers wrapped around it, because I think if I hide the skeleton, I think that's looking pretty good. You know, actually that's not what I'm going for. And I'll tell you why. Her elbow's supposed to be pointing down. I think that's the heart of the dysfunction of my pose right now. So let's rotate this around. Maybe no, we'll leave it like that. What we are gonna do is we're gonna point your elbow down. We're going to bring this back up. And bring it in a little bit. That's looking way more natural now. Because when you're gonna hold a gun, you're not gonna do this. You're gonna do this, right? Your elbow points down. Always use yourself for reference if you can. Because you're a human, you can't do unnatural things, right? So if you can make a pose, certainly this model can. So let's move it back to the hand. I keep waffling about. I keep having to fix the magazine. Maybe I should just hide the magazine until I figure this out. Rotate it a bit. Bring it in. Then I think rotate it around the one. That's pretty good. Okay, now let's do the fingers. Because I think... Yep, that looks better. Okay, let's do the fingers. So, she's reloading. What are her fingers doing? She's not going to have her finger on the trigger, but she will have it sort of resting against the guard. So we'll bring it in a little bit. Actually, I need to bring the pencil back a bit. We're doing a lot of waffling, but you know, that's part of it. You just got to get it right, and then you won't have to worry about it anymore. Let's rotate it this way. And bring it in. Okay, that's looking better. Okay, now, let's start with, let's grab these three fingers. Not that one, I think that one's in the right spot. Let's bring it. Yeah, mag dropping, Mr. Scribbles and Flapjacks. Thanks. I'm a big fan of that. I think it's, you know, when you design minis, the thing is that they don't move. You know, but things that don't move a lot of times are just boring to look at. So you gotta figure out how to make it look like stuff is happening on a little chunk of plastic. You know what, you've inspired me to fiddle with my magazine again. Pop that back in. Yeah, and her left hand over here, she's going to be, don't you worry, she's going to be grabbing another magazine for this weapon. But right now we're getting the fingers right, so let's rotate it this way, rotate it this way, and then we're going to grab all three of these, I think. Rotate it on their X's, and just close the fingers. Grab these three finger bones, close the fingers. And let's make sure they line up with the ridges. Not quite doing it. We can fix that. And let's grab these. Close the fingers a little more. And close the fingers. These ones are going to need to close a little more. So that's looking pretty good. I think we need to bring them up. Again, just a little bit. But that's looking pretty good. Now let's bring the thumb. Let's bring the thumb over. And the thumb is always going to look a little weird because it's just a weird bone. Let me tell you, trying to model human hands, it's got to be one of just the hardest things. If you ever look at your hand, it is weird. There's just bones going everywhere. The thumb just kind of is off on the side doing its own thing. I don't know what to do with that. It's a classic artist issue. The human hands are just wacky. But I think we've almost got it good. The nice thing about here is that even though that looks ridiculous if you're looking at it straight on, it's not going to matter because it's going to be so small that it'll smooth over nicely and it will look better. Tiny details like that, that's something you just got to learn to ignore. But it's 8:01, and I think we've actually made a lot of progress today. I wasn't expecting even to get to posing today, but I liked how the helmet looked, and I moved right under the grenade, popped that off quick, and then did some posing. So I'm glad we got there. That's always such a fun piece to see. We got just, I think, the left arm and maybe the head to do. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm doing this every Sunday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. If you want to watch me in the future, hit the little follow button. That helps me a lot. And stay classy out there. Have a good night.